So we get on to our award ceremony. So the others in the room that may be a bit nervous now, it's your turn to sort of fret for a little bit. So I'm going to introduce to the stage the team that are going to do the awards tonight and get the awards ceremony out. So I'm going to invite up Chief Constable Michelle Skier, Nikki Butt, Ronnie Egan and Liz Barnett.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know, I'm Nikki Butt. I'm the Vice President of BAWP, and I very occasionally get to come to the stage. So we're here tonight to celebrate all of our winners, and I will do that without too much further ado, but to get to the point where we have winners, not only do we need an events team who have done a fantastic job, but we'll come to that at some other point, I'm sure you'll all agree. We also need two really, really key parts of this recipe. One of them is nominators, and I know there are some of those in the room. I'm not going to out you, I'm not going to call you out, but thank you, because none of the award winners would be here today without you having taken the time to nominate your colleagues to be recognised for the work that they do. Thank you. And the second group of people, and again, I'm not going to name them all, but is the judging teams. We have a first stage judging team and a second stage judging team. And again, some of those are in the room and we couldn't be here without our judges today. Thank you. Some of those are very senior officers in the organisation, and it is incredibly difficult to get all of those people in one room. As those who were involved in this year's process will know, we didn't actually do it in person. It was all done remotely. So thank you all for finding the time to put that effort into judging these incredible amount of nominations that we get every year. So, without further ado, the first award is for bravery. And the award is sponsored by the Nicola Hughes Foundation and Invest, Protect, Insure. If they could make their way to the stage, please. So our winner in this category is Carol Griffiths from Dyfed Powys Police. And to the Welsh in the room, I'm going to apologise in advance for my pronunciation. I'm going to do my best. PCSO Carol Griffiths is a rural PCSO police community support officer responsible for the Crimmitch area within Cardigan. Is that all right? Brilliant. Basic Command Unit in Dyfed Powys Police. At 15:32 hours on Monday the 19th of March 2018, a 999 call was received from a member of the public reporting that her car had been taken from outside the Old Scout Hall, which is situated close to the River Teffy in Cardigan. She also reported that her 3-year-old daughter was in the vehicle. Due to the nature and seriousness of the incident, Carol was dispatched to assist with a coordinated search of the area. For the next hour and a quarter, there was an exceptionally high policing response from a significant number of resources, including partner agencies, and Carol used her knowledge of the area to contribute to the search. Just over an hour later, at 16:46, the National Police Air Service reported seeing a silver vehicle submerged in the river between the two road bridges. Carol was at the time near the slipway where the vehicle had been left parked. Without any emergency equipment or buoyancy aids, Carol bravely entered the river and swam out to the vehicle. The strong current of the river swept her away, and she was fortunately swept into the side of the submerged vehicle. Carol was joined by a colleague, and entry was gained into the vehicle. A 3-year-old child was removed from the vehicle and conveyed to shore to awaiting ambulance staff. Despite Carol's heroism in entering the water to recover the child and the extensive efforts of medical staff and paramedics, the child sadly could not be revived and passed away. Carol received Chief Constable's commendation for heroic actions. Carol has also received the International Association for Women in Policing Award for bravery. It's considered that PCSO Carol Griffiths has distinguished herself by an act of bravery and heroism, risking her own personal safety by entering a river to try to save the life of another, whilst facing great danger in the execution of her duty. BAWP President Michelle Skier is proud to present PCSO Carol Griffiths with her National Bravery Award. Carol, will you please join us?
Good evening all, noswaith dda pawb. I'm truly honoured and privileged to receive the Bravery Award in recognition of my actions and the work I do. The British Association for Women in Policing Award signifies the contribution and achievement of women within the police service in supporting, promoting and improving law enforcement globally, as well as the criminal justice profession. And I am proud to stand together with you all as part of the police family. On the 19th of March 2018, there was absolutely nothing we could have done more on that tragic day. Unfortunately, it was one of those incidents which happened and we could not change. My colleague, PC Nick Allen, and I did everything in our capacity to recover Chiara. And I continue to think of Chiara's family, who sadly lost their little girl. And finally, I would like to express my gratitude to all my colleagues from Dyfed Palace Police on Table 3, family, friends, the general public for the support, BAWP for the recognition for this award, and this venue for hosting this incredible event. I thank you all, and I dedicate this award to everyone in this room. Thank you. Diolch yn fawr.
The next award is the Community Service Award. This award is sponsored by Police Mutual. Could you join us on the stage, Police Mutual? The winner for this award is Major Bean Hussain from Lancashire Constabulary. Major Bean, Mage, is a Lancashire Constabulary Police staff member who has been seconded to Blackburn with Darwen Borough Council since October 2017 as a channel coordinator. Mage chose to apply for a position with the local authority to explore in greater capacity opportunities for improved partnership working and a more collaborative approach to managing risk, supporting vulnerable individuals and working in an area that is complex, nuanced and difficult. By broadening her horizons, developing her skill set and sharing her varied knowledge and experience, she has helped to guide colleagues in a variety of statutory agencies on how to assess their vulnerabilities and implement interventions to support those at risk of radicalisation. Mage manages referrals that have been adopted onto the Channel programme, which is an early intervention scheme that supports people who are at risk of radicalisation. She develops an ideological and holistic plan of interventions to provide practical support tailored to individual needs, ultimately preventing and stopping individuals from adopting and acting on violent extremist views, breaking the law and committing acts of terrorism. Mage has utilised the breadth of her safeguarding experience and knowledge of working with a host of diverse communities to deliver the Channel programme and make it into a centre of excellence recognised nationally as best practice. Prevent is an area that is scrutinised heavily, often misconstrued and misunderstood. Mage has worked with referred individuals and their families to alleviate their concerns and ensure they understand the facts of the programme and are aware of their benefits. She has excelled in this area by gaining the trust of individuals and increasing their confidence in statutory services, supporting them by offering training and mentoring opportunities. Without a doubt, her work with the host of statutory and third sector organisations and groups has helped to address concerns and improve outcomes for vulnerable individuals from all types of harm. Mage has demonstrated throughout her career that she is passionate in supporting the most vulnerable in society and will work with communities to address all forms of social harms. Mage has excelled herself in working to build and develop stronger and safer communities. But BAWP President Michelle Skier is proud to present Mage Hussain with a National Award for Community Service.
Okay, the next award is for Excellence in Performance, and this award is sponsored by Niche. If somebody from the sponsors could join us on the stage, please. Okay, the winner of the Excellence in Performance category is Ruth Doré from the National Crime Agency. Ruth Doré is employed within NCA, National Crime Agency's Vulnerability Command, dealing with modern slavery and human trafficking. Since joining the unit, Ruth has driven business forward in order to deliver activity against modern slavery and human trafficking. She has been solely responsible for the planning and implementing of a number of intensification periods. Ruth has consistently delivered activity regarding MSHT for European Multidisciplinary Platform Against Criminal Threats, otherwise known as MPACT. She has continued to deliver that activity and guide pan-European work in the field of trafficking human beings. Ruth has written the operational action plans, liaising with various member states in producing those, and has been involved with enhancing the European picture of MSHT. She has gained considerable praise from the co-drivers of the MPACT project regarding trafficking human beings, which are Romania and the Netherlands, and she has been instrumental in producing high-level briefing documents which continue to deliver against the threat. She's coordinated the joint days of action that take place in line with the threat of THB, and that has included sexual exploitation, labour exploitation, and an innovative intensification against child trafficking that had never been attempted before. Ruth has now taken on the role of international lead and has been instrumental in forging closer links with the Home Office MSHTU and making considerable contribution to the country action plans. She has driven forward upstream activity in numerous countries, particularly Vietnam. Ruth has continued to demonstrate excellent liaison skills, drive, commitment, tenacity, project management, and excellent communication in achieving considerable traction within law enforcement agencies, NGOs, and government in delivering tactical and strategic action against the key threat of modern slavery. Ruth was nominated and will receive the highly commended award from the International Association for Women in Policing in this category. Ruth has distinguished herself throughout her outstanding work in the field of modern slavery, leading to the identification, location, and arrest of criminals that cause significant harm. BAWP President Michelle Skier is proud to present Ruth Doré with her National Award for Excellence in Performance.
Okay, next category is the Inspirational Woman Award, and this is sponsored by Specialist Group International. If they could join us on the stage. The winner in this category is Carol Mounts from the Police Service of Northern Ireland. Carol Mounts is currently the lead for learning support within the Police Service of Northern Ireland College, a position which she's held for the past 2 years. In that time, she's been instrumental in creating leadership development programmes within PSNI, reflecting her own passionate belief for developing others, female colleagues in particular. Carol has also been heavily involved on the Committee of Women in Policing Association for Northern Ireland for the past 7 years as an activity lead, delivering countless initiatives and programmes, including a mentoring scheme for members, which is now in its 3rd year. Carol is also a founder of the PSNI Cancer Support Association. This was a first of its kind within UK policing, and over the past 10 years since its creation, Carol has been pivotal in supporting officers and staff diagnosed with cancer, or who have had family members with a diagnosis. This has included the creation of a CSA volunteer scheme, which she has also led on, as well as organising several training events for PSNI management and staff in conjunction with various cancer charities to better equip them to deal with cancer within the workplace. In early 2018, as part of her work on behalf of the National Association, Carol personally organised for the Action Cancer Big Bus to attend the Police College in support of its members. Shortly after that event, she began her own personal experience with cancer, having been diagnosed after availing herself of these vital screening services at that time. Following her diagnosis, Carol was determined to continue providing support to others, which included leading on the delivery of training to enable rollout of a new role of CSA trusted colleagues, which she courageously completed with only 2 weeks after her own diagnosis. From these early stages, Carol displayed the most incredible bravery and resilience in sharing her personal thoughts and experiences. Whilst off work, receiving chemotherapy treatment, she continued to coach and mentor both officers and staff in their own development, including providing interview practice for those seeking promotion. She also supported the delivery of a series of personal development workshops for all WPA NI members. Carol always kept in touch with friends and colleagues whilst recovering at home, often sending insightful and inspirational articles and reflections which made colleagues and friends laugh, cry, and think about her own self-worth at all the same time. For many within PSNI, Carol epitomises what a good leader should be, and for so many more women, she is truly the essence of a woman in policing who has overcome adversity and inspired others along the way. BAWP President Michelle Skeer is proud to present Carol Mounts with a National Award for Inspirational Woman.
Leadership Award. This award is sponsored by Police Oracle. Can you join us on the stage, please? The winner of this award is Helen Ham from Derbyshire Constabulary. Helen Ham joined the Derbyshire Constabulary as a police staff member in 2008, following her completion of 30 years as a PC and DC, working predominantly in CID. She started her new life in the Equality Unit and remains there currently, now in her 40th year. From the beginning, Helen made an impact by showing she was open to learning in an area of business she had not previously been familiar with, and embracing all that she could in the field of equality and diversity. It quickly became apparent that her previous style of policing, all-round knowledge, hard work, empathy, and ability to put the needs of the victim first made Helen the ideal person to work within the unit. Helen quickly recognised she was in a unique position in order to help her police officer colleagues make the link between operational policing and equality and diversity, and what that might mean in a day-to-day environment. She has forced herself to do things out of her comfort zone, following 30 years as an officer in CID with amazing results. As a qualified trainer, she has delivered mentor training to 50 police officers and staff across the force. Not only did this ensure colleagues had role models and individuals who could support them on their own journeys, police mentors were also rolled out in schools to provide empowerment to students who were struggling due to socio-economic factors on the fringes of criminal behaviour. Helen has undertook training to become an accredited and licensed Springboard and Fresh Steps trainer, delivering Springboard courses to 300 plus females and Fresh Steps to 65 men and women across the organisation. The results were staggering as female officers and police staff undertook changes within their professional and personal lives. Helen's unique style and refreshing honesty enabled colleagues to relate to their own circumstances and aspirations in a safe environment. After looking how improvements could be made to improve the ease of contact for those most vulnerable, Helen developed a care card system for people who have a disability or illness that affects their use of telephone, or may who become confused or agitated during prolonged or stressful circumstances. Once registered, should the caller make a contact, their details will be flagged immediately to highlight there is some vulnerability and what that vulnerability may be. The system is owned by Derbyshire Constabulary. Consequently, there is no financial outlay. Due to Helen's passion, drive and commitment, the organisation was recognised by the Equality and Human Rights Commission as a blueprint for the quality of information in order to meet their legal obligations. Whilst this was not Helen's role, she was instrumental in providing the guidance on what was required and how publishing such detail could improve trust and confidence. Her work ethic is second to none. Often in areas that are not her responsibility, she is highly regarded, authentic, humble and unassuming. She consistently delivers results, quietly making a difference without drawing attention. Everything Helen does is for the right reasons and not for self-gratification. It is always about the victim or supporting a colleague or the organisation. Helen has distinguished herself in demonstrating continued long-term commitment to leadership in the police service using exceptional skills in team building, developing others, leading teams and managing change that have had an outstanding positive impact on teams, individuals, organisation and the community. BAWP President Michelle Skier is proud to present Helen Ham with her National Award for Leadership.
Our next award is for Lifetime Achievement, and this award is sponsored by BT. If the sponsors could join us on the stage, please. So our winner in this category is Emily Hyam. Just as a quick note, for those of you following in your books, Emily asked for some amendments to her citation, so it won't flow. Emily has worked within Public Protection Division, and some of her proudest achievements have been setting up Protect in 2006, which is Greater Manchester Police's first child sexual exploitation team. She brought MARAC and domestic abuse courts into Greater Manchester Police in 2007, and in 2012 she started Strive, which is an early intervention programme for domestic abuse victims, receiving a £2 million grant from the government. All of these initiatives are now core business and still going strong today. In December 2012, Emily was selected to lead the Pegasus Change programme, looking to merge and align specialist departments such as public protection, serious crime and specialist operations. This required a strong leader to take on the challenges of culture, innovation and resistance to change in order to ensure sustainable and cost-effective changes. Emily attended departmental briefings, chief constable roadshows, and was personally available to stimulate innovation and listen to individuals' concerns. In order to break down silo working and gain a mutual understanding of departments, Emily organised regular updates, which became known as professional speed dating update events. Emily set up resource meetings for the departmental commanders and challenged decisions, ensuring fairness and transparency around people. This gained her the respect of senior leaders and staff alike. Emily is not afraid to challenge and has high values when it comes to integrity. It was, of course, Emily's huge personality, determination, vision, and can-do attitude that implemented sustainable and efficient changes. And 7 years later, GMP are still operating under the Pegasus model. Emily has also achieved a number of female firsts in GMP. She was the first female DCI in professional standards, the first female DCI and detective superintendent within serious and organised crime group, and the first female chief superintendent in contact management. She's recently been appointed as the first female detective chief superintendent. That would be an interesting innovation, wouldn't it? She's recently been appointed as the first female detective chief superintendent within the North West Regional Organised Crime Unit. Emily, by her own admission, loves working within organised crime and enjoys the fast pace and putting significant organised crime groups behind bars and disrupting them financially. Emily achieves being a visible female role model whilst also being a mum of 2, with one of them being a preschooler. Emily has mentored countless colleagues and also mentored all the chairs of GMP's Association of Women in Policing. She has guided each one to lead the network for the enormous benefit of female officers and staff. She's personally led promotion workshops for female officers at every rank in order to create a more diverse leadership team, with the most recent PC to Sergeant process seeing 52 female candidates benefit from mock interviews and role plays. Emily has also been open about her own personal challenges of being an officer, experiencing multiple miscarriages, failed IVF attempts, and then going through the adoption process, and is now the go-to person to provide support in these fields. Emily has just been to Alaska to receive the International Association of Women Police Leadership Award, and throughout her career has made a significant and consistent contribution to policing and has made an outstanding contribution to policing the community. BAWP President Michelle Skier is proud to present Emily Jane Hyam with her National Award for Lifetime Achievement.
From table 9. I was debating whether to say a few words or not, and then my imposter took over, and I said, no, don't do it, and then I thought, no, actually, we should celebrate. So, firstly, I want to say thank you to those people who nominated me, and I know who you are. Secondly, for those people who recognised me against all the other inspirational women who applied for this category. And thirdly, for British Association of Women in Policing, who actually just recognise there's women in policing, and are just there. They're just a network that are there that we can go to. I did go to Alaska, and I was privileged enough to go with quite a few of the other award winners who weren't bold enough to stand up and say something, because in Alaska we had to say something. So it was great to see those women. I have been fortunate enough to be guided, nurtured, nudged, pulled back, and told to wind my neck in a couple of times by some real inspirational men and women in my career. And they've guided me. And I think if I can do that small little gift for the women that are coming through for policing, then I've done my job well. So thank you very much.
The next category is Officer of the Year, and this is sponsored by the Police Federation and Lady Care. We've got representatives from the Federation here this evening. Can come up on stage. So the winner in this category is Evie Wilcox from Leicestershire Police. Evie's personal skills in communicating and assisting vulnerable victims and witnesses, and her ability to build rapport with suspects is second to none. Her experience through her previous role working alongside vulnerable children shines through, and this was especially evident when attending a report of sexual touching of an 11-year-old female with dyspraxia was reported from a neighbour. Evie shows compassion, a genuine interest and professionalism when supporting people with various vulnerabilities, especially those who are suffering with their mental health. On separate occasions, Evie has attended reports of suicidal persons, some of whom had self-harmed with knives and taken an overdose. Her questioning, supportive and caring nature has resulted in calming the persons whilst organising the necessary professional support. Evie built rapport with a lady who had caused multiple superficial cuts to her chest and along both arms using a knife, and explained that she had a secret storage of knives. Evie convinced her to show her this secret location and hand over her knives and other sharp objects. Evie has demonstrated a commitment to Leicestershire Police and to combating crime through disrupting criminals and taking positive action through making proactive arrests. Responding to a report of a different matter, she was flagged down by members of the public working for British Gas who believed they'd located a cannabis factory. Evie was observant and noticed suspects loading items into a vehicle located at the rear of the property. The suspects began to flee the location, and Evie gave foot chase for about 800 yards in exceptionally hot weather, whilst constantly updating control to her location. She detained the male, and a factory was located with a substantial grow of cannabis, which had been harvested and placed in the vehicle. Evie displays intuition when dealing with situations in order to gather information and intelligence, always going above and beyond. During one incident, a female was located, believed to have been driving when under the influence of drink or drugs. However, on officer attendance, she was located outside of the vehicle. Due to Evie's initiative to speak to neighbours, a witness was located and positively identified seeing the female drive, to which affected her arrest and resulted in a charge. Evie demonstrates excellent interaction with the public on a daily basis. This was evident when involved in Op Young. Evie communicated with both public and businesses to provide reassurance and explain the increased numbers of police patrols which were in place to address antisocial behaviour and street lifestyle incidents. During the 2 days in Op Young, Evie was extremely proactive, conducting 6 stop searches, issuing 2 Section 35 dispersal notices, 3 begging warnings and 2 community resolutions for possession, which included referrals to Turning Point, 2 alcohol seizures, 1 miss per verification and 1 arrest. P.S. Ballard wrote, PC Wilcox makes an outstanding officer. Her service delivery is excellent, and knowledge of key areas that affect the force, such as domestic abuse and safeguarding, is second to none, with the correct use of the National Decision-Making Model and Thrive. Evie is a professional officer and a credit to the training she has had. She works well as a team member, and I've personally witnessed her willingness to assist team members in any task that they need. Evie has distinguished herself in the previous year and has shown herself to excel as a police officer. BAWP President Michelle Scare is proud to present PC Evie Wilcox with her National Award for Police Officer of the Year.
The Police Staff Member of the Year. This award is sponsored by Hugh James Solicitors. Could you join us on the stage? won by Melissa Dark, the City of London Police. In November 2016, Melissa was contacted and asked to assist as the Casualty Bureau Manager for the Croydon tram derailment by the Metropolitan Police Service, MPS. She helped with the setup and activation of the Casualty Bureau, liaising with the British Transport Police. Halfway through that day, she was asked to activate the City of London Police Disaster Victim Identification teams to assist with the BTP in the mortuary for the post-mortem DVI process. On the 22nd of March 2017, the Westminster terrorist attack happened. COLP became the pan-London lead for the Casualty Bureau, utilising MPS staff who attended the City of London Police Casualty Bureau, along with the first aid nursing yeomanry to answer calls and match the missing person reports with the survivors and casualties. On the day of the Westminster attack, Melissa worked 36 hours non-stop to ensure quick and efficient activation of Casualty Bureau. 1,096 phone calls came into the Casualty Bureau in the first 24 hours, and Melissa had to activate mutual aid support from other forces to assist in the high volume of calls and identification of potential missing person involved in the attack. Whilst all this was going on, Melissa also orchestrated and directly debriefed traumatised call handlers. Due to the high demand, Melissa ended up on the phone to a distressed family, making the decision to stay on the phone with this person until the family liaison officers arrived at their address. Melissa continued to work for several days on this incident until all the people reported as missing were reconciled with their loved ones. Melissa's next deployment was to assist Greater Manchester Police for the Manchester Arena bombing with the call handling and matching unit. Melissa was the City of London Police Casualty Bureau Manager for this and assisted for 3 days. Melissa then assisted with the London Bridge and Borough Market attack. She deployed to the incident en route, activating mutual aid for the casualty bureaus on other forces, liaising with the Survivor Reception Centre Bronze for the process and equipment for the survivors. She had volunteers ready to go live for the call handling by 0100 hours. The call volume statistics for London Bridge was 6,610 phone calls within 24 hours, with mutual aid from across the country of 245 call handlers. But due to the rapid response by the City of London Police and the smallest police force in the country, answered the most number of phone calls, and the call volume remained at that level for 3 days. Then, the Grenfell Tower fire. Melissa was in Manchester when the fire broke out, and she assisted the MPS from her hotel room with the briefing documents, taking over as Casualty Bureau Manager in City of London Police. During that time, she was conference calling with mutual aid forces, and she decided to start a national mutual aid working document and process to provide all forces with clear guidance and instructions on how to assist the Casualty Bureau. It became apparent that the mass fatalities were going to require a large DVI response. So she double-hatted as the DVI team leader for the child fatalities in hospital, with a small DVI team on call and the Casualty Bureau Manager overnight. Melissa activated and deployed a large mortuary team and police mortuary operations manager to the mortuary for the following day. The City of London Police Casualty Bureau became the central hub of triaging problems in the matching unit, with a dedicated email response team to assist forces with particular difficult issues. The working document that she created for this activation has now become national best practice and has been circulated nationally. Melissa worked as the Casualty Bureau Manager and the DVI Coordinator, assisting MPS for 5 months on and off for Grenfell while still performing her day job with the City of London Police. Melissa has been highly commended for her achievements by the International Association for Women in Policing. Melissa, for her efforts, has made an outstanding achievement to support, promote, improve and enhance policing. BAWP President Michelle Skier is proud to present Melissa Dark with her National Award for Police Staff Member of the Year.
So I wasn't going to say anything either, but it's down to Emily that I now have, so thank you for that. I just want to say thank you in that there are so many incredible people who work in the policing service, both staff and officers alike, and I was not the only person to have to respond and deal with those incidents in London, one after the other. So I just want to take a moment for all of those staff, officers and other emergency responders who did their duty on those nights running towards things that others would run so far away from. So thank you.
Okay, the next category is police volunteer, and this is sponsored by Zenium Solutions. Have we have the sponsor here? So we have two winners in this category. The main winner is Grace Burton from Leicestershire Police. Grace has been a member of the Police Cadets for 2 years now, and without fail is there every week. Grace, who is 14, along with other cadets, has a busy life, juggling her school, social and busy home life, where she steps up as a young carer for her autistic brother. Her 11-year-old brother is severely disabled. He faces many challenges 24/7, is unable to talk, read, write or care for himself in any way, and Grace is always there to support him and carry out her young carer's role. From speaking to Grace's parents, it is clear she's had to make many sacrifices in her home life due to her brother's challenges. However, she never moans about this and simply gets on with it and does what she can do to help. As mentioned, she's only 14, and this would shock most people due to her maturity. Grace is part of the Charnwood Cadet Unit, second group, who start from 7:30 to 9 o'clock every Monday evening. Rather than just coming home for her own session, Grace goes the extra mile and comes in from 6 o'clock every week. Grace does this so that she can support the leaders in delivering sessions to her newer recruits. Without Grace's support on a week-by-week basis, the Charnwood Cadet Unit would really struggle to function as efficiently as it does. Grace comes up with new ideas for the cadet sessions and really gives a new perspective for leaders to work from. This has helped to improve cadet sessions week by week, making it more fun for the other cadets, all thanks to Grace's innovative ideas for cadet sessions. The contribution Grace has made has improved Leicestershire Police. Grace's school are well aware that she is a police cadet, and Grace acts as a perfect representative of Leicestershire Police in the way that she conducts herself. Grace promotes a cadet scheme to other peers within her school and encourages young people to join. Grace has made a significant voluntary contribution in support of the police service, showing commitment that has made a positive difference to the delivery of police service to the public and the effectiveness and efficiency of the organisation. BAWP President Michelle Skeer is proud to present Grace Burton with her National Award for Police Volunteer. Okay, we also have a highly commended police volunteer winner, who is Alex Milne of the City of London Police. Alex is the Commander of Operations for the First Aid Nursing Yeomanry, the Princess Royal Volunteer Corps. Alex is a single point of contact for the activation and deployment of the First Aid Nursing Yeomanry volunteers for the City of London Police. The City of London and the First Aid Nursing Yeomanry have a memorandum of understanding for the activation and deployment of instant contact centres staff to attend the City of London Casualty Bureau during a major incident, to answer the phone calls from concerned family, friends, and members of the public during a major incident. During the devastating attacks and major incidents of 2017, the City of London Police had to invoke this MOU 4 times over a 4-month period. The First Aid Nursing Yeomanry deployed, as you've heard, for Westminster attack, Manchester Arena bombings, London Bridge and Borough Market, and Grenfell Tower fire. Each time, the City of London called Alex to activate this process, and no matter what time of the day, Alex would answer her phone to respond to this incident. For some of the incidents, Alex was already preempting the activation from the news feeds and had already placed the volunteers on standby to be in a position to deploy as rapidly as possible for the effective and efficient activation. Alex arranged the entire shift rota for the volunteers to staff the 12 telephone lines in City of London on a 24/7 pattern until the Casualty Bureau was stood down. She did this while having a young family at home and mostly out of office hours with no requirement to be on call. Alex hugely contributed to the overall response by police to an unprecedented year, and the work of the ICC often gets overseen, and they are often the unsung heroes of the major incidents, running to the aid of victims and families of these incidents. The volunteers have their own professional careers far removed from dealing with major incidents and are prepared to put down their own personal lives on hold and potentially sacrifice their own mental well-being to assist those in moments of crisis. The volunteers are required to travel into the centre of London during the chaotic scenes, and they provide victims and families with a calm and professional call handling capability, taking reports of missing persons potentially involved in the incident. Alex has made a significant voluntary contribution in support of the police service, showing commitment that has made a positive difference to the delivery of service to the public and the effectiveness and efficiency of the organisation. BAWP President Michelle Scare is proud to highly commend Alex Milne for her commitment as a police volunteer.
Our final award of the evening is for special recognition, and this is sponsored by KBR. If they would like to join us on the stage, please. So the joint winners of this award are Giles York and Miles Ockwell of Sussex Police. Chief Constable Giles York led Sussex Police to become the first police force in the world to be named thematic champions for the United Nations Global Solidarity Movement for Gender Equality, named He for She. Miles has been Sussex Police's Gender Equality Champion since 2016, a role he helped create and passionately undertakes on top of his day job. Miles's passion for this role is evidence of his commitment to increasing female representation at all levels throughout the force, as well as his understanding of how gender inequality impacts the communities we serve through such crimes as domestic abuse and sexual violence. Sussex Police publicly recognised the link between the role that the police play in protecting their communities from gender-based violence and accepting their ability to do so was undermined by gender inequality within police organisations which are traditionally male-dominated. Making bold commitments to addressing the underrepresentation of women at senior levels of their organisation within 3 years and redoubling their efforts to combat domestic and sexual abuse within communities. Underpinning these commitments, under Chief Constable York's leadership, his force have been delivering a programme of cultural change, engaging male officers to develop their understanding of gender inequality within policing and how this impacts on their role as police officers. In addition to seeking to address gender inequality within their own organisation, Chief Constable York, supported by Miles, has used his role as a thematic champion to seek to influence change on a larger scale. In May of 2018, he invited police forces from across the United Kingdom to a seminar at New Scotland Yard in London, where he spoke passionately about the need for chief constables across the country to recognise the inequality that exists for women in policing and within the communities they serve, and asked them to make commitments to address it. Miles was instrumental in Surrey and Sussex Police becoming global he-for-she thematic champions. He-for-she, which is created by the United Nations Women, includes heads of state, global multinationals, worldwide universities, and Miles, working to spread the he-for-she message to police forces internationally and get United Nations Ambassador Anne Hathaway to speak at a London event. In September 2018, the United Nations General Assembly in New York, Chief Constable York shared a stage with CEOs of global companies and heads of state from around the world, giving a passionate case for why men needed to be involved in addressing gender inequality and why it is an issue for police forces globally. Through his position as thematic champion of law enforcement, Chief Constable York is a global role model and a leader who is making a significant contribution to the advancement of women in policing. Miles routinely supports female officers and staff to reach their potential and runs workshops called barbershops for his male colleagues to recognise their possible prejudice and understand the value of developing talented females. Miles encourages and supports the needs for all to have an appropriate work-life balance. For example, he ensures that meeting times and locations accommodate those with childcare or other caring responsibilities. He takes time to support those on maternity leave to undertake promotion, ensuring they are not disadvantaged due to being absent from the workplace. Few men in policing have had a greater impact locally, nationally, and internationally across more domains in policing, public services, academia, and private company than Miles and Giles. Unfortunately, Giles is unable to be with us tonight, but BAWP President Michelle Skier is proud to present Chief Constable Giles York and Superintendent Miles Ockwell with the National Award for Special Recognition. Again. So, can I just have one more, please? Big round of applause for all of the award winners tonight. Thank you. So the quality of the award nominations was exceptional, and it was the highest number ever received by BAWP, which is fantastic. And we're privileged to have many of the finalists here with us tonight. And what we're going to do is ask them in their categories. We're going to call your name and ask you to come to the stage and just receive a certificate, please, because we just want to recognise the fantastic work that you've all done too. So first of all, please, to his coaching and mentoring, I'd like to please invite to the stage, if you are here, Catherine Chowdhury, BTP, and Sergeant Emma Williams, North Wales. Come on.
Our next category was community service. I'd like to invite to the stage, please, Sejal Reid, City of London, PCSOs Kajal Jethwa and Lynette Rose, PC Angela Rogers, South Wales, PCSO Hilary Barrett, Staffs. Or not. Let's pretend they did. We'll edit that in later on. Is that all right? Is that fine? The next one, excellence in performance, is DC Sarah Jones, Leicestershire, Beth Sims and DC Joe Huddleston, West Yorks, and Chief Inspector Suzanne Baker, Warwickshire. Are you here? Please come to the stage if you are. Yes. The next category was Inspirational Women. PCSO Amy Bennett, North Wales. Staff member Cheryl Graham, PSNI. And Chief Superintendent Judith Venneth, Norfolk. Please come to the stage. The next category is leadership, and I know she's not here tonight. ACC Jackie Sabir Beds and DS Zoe Trainer from Kent Police. Zoe, are you here? Yes. In the Lifetime Achievement category, please welcome or invite to the stage, please, staff members Anne Williams, North Wales, and Christine Williams, South Wales. In the Officer of the Year category, PS Victoria Harrison, Northants, and PC Sue Wright, PSNI. Round of applause. In the Police Staff Member of the Year, I'd like to invite to the stage staff members Sally Fox, Avon and Somerset, Sarah Wright and Dawn Wollacott, Essex Police, and Emma Meredith, PSNI. police volunteer, if you're here. I think Emma Sharrock, Greater Manchester, isn't. But Deborah Late, Suffolk Constabulary, yes. And special recognition, Superintendent Kat Barry from Essex Police and Alliance Policing Unit, Cheshire Police. So before I kind of finally wrap things up and you can finally be rid of me, I'm just going to invite to say a few words, Chief Constable Michelle Skier.
And this will be very, very brief for me because I know we'll probably all want to go and have a drink in the bar, I would think. So I just think a round of applause for all our winners tonight. I think you'll agree they're all fabulous. And again, just a big thank you to the committee that, I know I said it before, but they have put a lot of organisation in today, tonight and tomorrow for those of you that are staying. So just a big thank you to the committee because it wouldn't have happened without them and the sponsors for this evening. So just a round of applause for them.
So I'm actually really keen to know what's in the police officer survival kit because I could see some of the looks around the room and there was a lot of speculation about that and probably not all of it healthy. I just want to wrap up the evening for you tonight. It's been an amazing day. I've been privileged to come here and talk to you all today and listen to all the outstanding things that have gone on. I consider it a significant achievement if I can get below 100 emails and still get to level 4 on Assassin's Creed or something when I get home. That's my day, and I'm wondering what the hell it is I do in my time, to be honest with you, after listening. So I'm really humbled by all of the stuff that's gone on. I'd like to thank Nikki and Michelle and the team and everybody for asking me here to do this. Thank you. And I guess I'm not here tomorrow. I think Miles is going to be doing the facilitating tomorrow for you. So have a fantastic day. Get upstairs, go do some dancing to a live band and have a great night. And I'll see you all in a bit. Thank you.